In this video, we will discuss how a Helium wallet works and what are the chances of getting it hacked. At the end of this video, we'll also talk about a few points to keep your wallet safe and what to do in case you are locked out of your Helium wallet. Hey folks, this is Roy and welcome back to my channel, Eigentech. Let us start by learning a few important properties of the Helium wallet. So the first question is, how many Helium wallets are there? You will probably be extremely surprised to learn this number. There are actually about 173,688 trillion wallets. So basically 72 zeros after 173,688. If you want to look at the number, something looks like this. There are 78 digits in this number. To give you a sense of how large it is, this number is larger than the number of atoms in the whole Milky Way galaxy where we reside. Okay, so this is a gigantic number. Now, information about any of these wallets is publicly available. What I mean by that, if you go to your Helium Explorer and look up at your Helium hotspot or any Helium hotspot, then this is the account to which this Helium hotspot is registered. And you can access all the information about that account, like how many HNTs are there, what kind of activity or transactions have happened, how many hotspots are registered or linked to that account. Okay, so all this information is publicly available. The next point is there are equal number of private keys. So basically same as this number, and each private key gives access to a unique wallet. And these wallets already kind of exist. So this is a subtle point. When you register using the Helium app, it says that you are creating an account, but what is really happening is that those accounts kind of already exist and you are given access to one of those accounts. Okay, we'll talk about this point later on as well. In a similar fashion, each valid set of 12 seed words or the passphrases lead to only a unique wallet. There is no collision. That means different sets of 12 words cannot lead to a single wallet, or one set of 12 words cannot lead to more than or cannot point to more than one wallet. This relationship is unique or one-to-one. And your wallet is extremely secure unless you make a few mistakes, as you will learn by the end of this video. Now let us learn about few concepts behind the Helium wallets. For this, we need to know a little bit of math, in particular two concepts. So the first one is binary representation. So you know that humans use decimal number system, which is basically using the numbers between 0 to 9. However, computers do not use decimal systems. Those use binary systems, only zeros and ones. So there is a conversion, there's a rule how to convert decimals into binaries. So for example, 0 and 1 are simply 0 and 1 in binary format. So basically you add 1 to 0 to get 1. Then to get the decimal 2, you have to still add 1. But in binary the 2 doesn't exist. So what you do, you have to add 1 to 1 and that becomes 0 and you have a carry of 1. That carry on you add to the next digit, which is basically 0. Just assume that there is a 0 here, so it becomes 1 0. Similarly, if you want to get 3, you add 1 more, becomes 1 1. For 4, you add another 1 and you assume there is a 0 here, so that carry 1 is added to it and you get 1 0 0. Basically you can think of this like an odometer, but instead of having 0 to 9s, you have basically only zeros and ones, okay, in that meter. In the same fashion, you can check that 10 is actually 1 0 and 0. Actually, there are plenty of online tools if you want to convert between decimal and binary. You can also use the calculator inbuilt in your operating system. For example, you just go to the programmer mode and just enter any number, for example 85 in decimal, and then click on binary. It will show you the binary format and vice versa. Anyway, so this is how it's converted, and these numbers are in the binary presentation is called bits. The second concept we need is called exponentiation. So basically you might already know about this. If you multiply the same number twice, it's called 5 square in this case, or 5 raised to 2. If you do it 3 times, 5 times 5 times 5, it's 5 cubed, or 5 raised to 3. So basically if you multiply a number a n number of times, it becomes, the mathematical representation of it is a to the power n, or a raised to n. Here a is called the base and n is called the exponent. For example, if I multiply 2 4 times, it becomes 2 to the power 4. And if I have 1 over 2 to the power 4, in a mathematical notation, shorthand notation, it is expressed as 2 to the power minus 4. Okay. Now we need to know just two rules here. So the first one is called the product rule. Basically, if you multiply two numbers with equal bases, then the exponents simply add up. So in this case, 2 to the power 8 multiplied by 2 raised to 3 becomes 2 to the power 8 plus 3, or 2 raised to 11. Similarly, we have a division rule. So if you just divide two numbers with the same basis, the exponents are subtracted from each other. So in this case, 2 to the power 8 divided by 2 to the power 3 becomes 2 to the power 8 minus 3, which is equal to 2 raised to 5. So these are the only two rules we need. Okay. Next, we will consider the toy example to understand how the helium wallet works. So in this case, we will consider that the toy wallet is 4 bits long. Since it's 4 bits long, that means there are 2 to the power 4 or 16 private keys. If you want to learn what are those, these are these 16 numbers in the binary presentation. Now, it might be difficult to remember this private key, right? Private key is important and I have to remember it. In this case, this is only 4 digits, for example, but it's easy. But let's say you have 100 digits, then it will be very difficult to remember, almost impossible to remember. And also it will be very difficult to write down because you can make mistakes. So there is a simplest solution for this. And what you do that you often generate a seed phrase using this private key or applying some rule to this private key. So we'll learn, let's take one example. So let's consider this particular private key 1011. Okay, and to generate this seed phrase, often something extra is added to that. Okay, what is added is called a checksum. In this case, in this example, we will add 2 bits of checksum. Now the checksum could be any rule you like. In this case, we will use a simple rule. So we'll basically split this in two parts. The first two number and the second two number, and if they are equal, we'll say that my checksum is 0. If they are unequal, we'll say that the checksum is 1. So in this case, the first two numbers are unequal, so the checksum is 1, and the second two are equal, so the checksum is 0. You can also think it as a binary addition or simply parity measurement. Okay, so anyway, so the last two digits are the checksum, and we add this to the existing private key, and this becomes our new string, which is now 6 bits long. Now what we do that we split this 6 bits long string into some parts and assign some words. So in this example, we'll split it in 3 parts. So here we have 10, 11 and 10 again. And then to assign some word, we first convert this into the decimal representation so that it's easy. So it becomes 2, 3 and 2 if you remember the table earlier. And then we just choose a set of words. And in this case, this will be called our own dictionary. And I have chosen 0 corresponding to Alice, 1 for Bob, 2 for Charlie, and 3 for David. So you can see that this string now is effectively can be written as Charlie, David, Charlie. So basically this is the seed phrase corresponding to this private key 1011. So the important point here is that for each set of private keys, there is a seed phrase. But not all set of 3 words are valid. If you choose 3 random words from here, that might not be a valid set. For example, Charlie, David, Bob will not be a valid set because of this checksum rule. Okay. If you like, you can try out what would be the 3 seed words for this particular private key and let me know in the comment section. Now the Helium app wallet uses exactly the same idea but with a much larger number of bits. So in their case, they use 128-bit long key when the Helium app is used. That gives rise to 2 to the power 128 private keys. And to generate these seed words or passphrases, a checksum which is 4 bits long is added at the end of this private key. And the checksum is used as the first 4 bits of the SHA-256 hash of that private key. So I don't need to go into the details of this, but I'm just trying to convey you the concept here. Then the 4 bits are added, so it becomes 132 bits long. Then this is divided into 12 11-bit sections like I have done earlier. Okay, 3 2-bit sections. So now there are 12 11-bit sections. So each of these 11-bit section can be then represented in the decimal format as a number between 0 and 2047, because 2 to the power 11 is actually, if you compute, it turns out to be 2048. So it can be written as a number in between 0 and 2047. And then you choose your dictionary and assign the words. So basically it will be a mapping between these 12 numbers to 12 words using some dictionary. So let me show you what kind of dictionary is actually used. So it doesn't contain all the words in the let's say Oxford dictionary or something. It actually uses a very specific set of the words. So and that is this set of words. I will leave the link in the description, and you can see there is a number from 1 to 2048, and they have some special properties about this dictionary. And if you go to this link, explains how to generate this mnemonic, has this information that this word list is created in such a way that it's enough to type the first 4 letters to unambiguously identify the word, and similar words are avoided, and some other extra properties of this word list. Anyway, if you like, you can check out this word list. So let us go back to the presentation, and as I showed you that it has to have it needs to have 2 to the power 11 equals 2048 words in the dictionary, because that is our mapping rule. Now you can see that this one ordered set of 12 words will always lead to a unique wallet. There is no other possibility. Okay, and this I am only talking about the Helium app. There is another option which I will not go into the details, something called CLI wallet or command line interface wallet, and that uses 256-bit long private keys. Okay, and that is even more stronger, but there are no seed words corresponding to those private keys, so you cannot use a CLI wallet using the Helium app. Okay, all right, so let us now try to understand what are the chances of getting your Helium wallet hacked. Now, what are the methods of hacking a wallet? So hacking basically means that someone has access to the 12 seed words so that they can perform transactions using inside that wallet. And to be useful, it has to be one of the accounts in use, or in other words, the accounts in which there are some money, not any random account, right? So what is a common method of hacking? It's basically scamming. People try to lure you and get access to your 12 seed words. So there have been incidents like often you will get messages like you have won free crypto or HNT, and or somebody is trying to help with your miner, like trying to solve your relay problem, or they will say that they need to verify your wallet, and basically the idea is that they will try to get the 12 words of your account, and if you give it, your account will be basically they will steal all the money and all the miners from your wallet. Okay, so never do that. So let's say people are smart enough and this method of hacking doesn't work anymore, so scamming is basically impossible. Then what are the methods? Then there are 2 methods left. Either that the Helium app reveals one of the 12 words for an existing account, or somebody tries a brute force approach to get access to one of the wallets. Okay, so let's see what are the possibilities here. So first about the chances of Helium app disclosing an existing wallet, or disclosing 12 words for an existing wallet. Now the app uses a random number generator to select those words, okay, along with the checksum math. Okay, so basically the question is, what are the chances that the app selects an existing account? Now for that we need to know what are the number of existing accounts. So currently if you go to the Helium Explorer, you will see that there are about 500,000 Helium miners. That's actually a pretty small number. So let's say we consider one of the extreme cases that I could think of. Let's say there are about 8 billion people, and so let's say there are 8 billion miners in the whole world. And let's say each account has about 2 miners on average. Then that means there will be 4 billion existing wallets. Okay, and this 4 billion, if you convert into 2 to the power some exponent, it turns out to be about 2 to the power 32. Okay. So what is the chances of revealing? Remember, there were exactly 2 to the power 128 private keys or accounts accessible through the Helium app, and the existing number of Helium accounts which are being used is 2 to the power 32. So the probability of revealing is 2 to the power 32 divided by 2 to the power 128. As I just showed you earlier, that becomes 2 to the power minus 96, or 10 to the power minus 30. So what does this mean? So this means that once in a 1 million trillion attempts, the Helium app might reveal 12 words for one of the existing accounts. So you can understand that this probability is extremely small, practically basically zero. So there is basically no chance that the Helium app will reveal the 12 words for an existing account. So you can be extremely confident about that. Okay. Now if somebody tries a brute force approach using the similar technique, the probability is again similar. So one has to try 1 million trillion times to get access to basically one existing account. Okay, so that's an extremely large number. Now let's say someone is trying to simply get access to a Helium wallet by entering random words in the Helium app. So what are the chances for that? So hacking using some trial and error method. Remember, there are 2048 words in the dictionary and there are 12 places to fill using those words, and there could be repetitions. So basically the number of possibilities is 2042 to the power 12. 2042 can be expressed as 2 to the power 11, which becomes 2 to the power 132. So this is the number of combinations that is possible using the words in the dictionary. However, not all sets are valid. So any random set you choose will not be valid because of that checksum I discussed earlier. So actually the valid possibilities are 16 times smaller, or 2 to the power 128. Okay, so the probability of guessing a correct word set is 2 to the power 128 divided by 2 to the power 132, which is 2 to the power minus 4, or 1 over 16th. What does it mean? It means that if you make 16 guesses, on average out of that, one will be a valid set of 12 words, which will lead to a Helium account, but a random account, okay, not an existing account. It could be an existing account. So let us check what is the probability of that being an existing account. It's basically the same as last time that we discussed, but then you have this prefactor of 1 over 16th, which makes it 2 to the power minus 100 or 10 to the power minus 31. So again, one will have to try 10 million trillion times to get access to possibly one of the existing accounts. So again, this is basically practically impossible. No one can do it in their lifetime. So here I talked about the Helium app, but actually the CLI wallets, which are more secure, even more secure, that probability is 10 to the power minus 159. So basically, if you want to try it by this trial and error method, you will need a time which is larger than the age of the universe to practically get access to any existing Helium wallet. Okay, so you can think that this is the Helium wallet is basically hack proof, and you don't have to worry about it. Now I'll provide a few tips to keep your wallet safe. So even though this is hack proof, doesn't mean that you cannot lose it. Okay, so the first thing and the most important thing is that if you are using the Helium wallet app, you should write down the 12 words on a piece of paper, and it's even better if you actually type it and print on a physical paper. Okay, don't keep it in a soft copy, because there were cases where people saved in their mobile phone itself and lost the phone. Okay, in that case, you will basically lose access to your account. So while writing the words, it's also important that you maintain the exact same order. So number them and avoid spelling mistakes. Okay, so this might sound like very basic, but there were cases where people have made mistakes. I have shown you here a few examples that you can see that people can actually by mistake write one word for another, and if you do so, again you will not be able to log back into your existing account. Okay, so be very careful about the words and the order of the words. Okay, and as I discussed earlier, never share these 12 words with anyone. If you give the 12 words to somebody, he will have access to your wallet and all your HNTs and the miner associated with that wallet. Okay, so never do that. Never share your 12 words. Then if you are planning to log out or let's say format your phone, or for whatever you want to change your phone, it's a good idea to double check your seed words. Okay, so you can do that by going to the settings of the Helium app and click on reveal words. So you should cross check that all your words are written correctly. Then if possible, if you have access to both the phones, it is better to simultaneously log in using the other phone. So right now I have checked that Helium allows you to log in using 2 different phones simultaneously. I don't know whether it will be stopped in the future or not, but at least it's possible right now. So it's better to log into that and check that you have access to your old account. Now let's say somehow you cannot access your account or there is some problem. So here are a few troubleshooting tips. So the first common one is what happens is that people have changed their phone, logged in using the same old 12 seed words, but it's not showing the hotspot. In that case, the way to solve it would be clear the cache of the Helium app, or simply uninstall and reinstall the app again and try to log in again. And sometimes it takes also a few minutes to load all the information from the about that wallet. Okay, then if you see this error which says failed to load, tap to retry, that could mean that there is some problem with the blockchain or Helium network issue, and basically simply try at a later moment. And if you see this error, this is pretty serious. It says that this seed phrase doesn't correspond to a Helium account. This is what I discussed earlier. Not any random set of 12 words are a valid set. So this is basically whatever you tried was invalid set in this case. There could be three reasons for that. First, you used the correct words but not in the right order, so incorrect order, or you had a spelling mistake. You basically typed a different word which is similar sounding, or you completely lost or partially lost a few words you trying to guess it, and you see that the probability of guessing is extremely small. So again, it's a very good idea to write down the 12 words very clearly and in a safe place. So let me emphasize again that if you lose those 12 words, that means that you lose access to the Helium wallet, and you will lose all the HNTs which were inside that wallet and any Helium miner which was registered or associated with that wallet. It will be lost forever. No one, even the developers, cannot retrieve those information for you. Okay? I hope I could convince you that the Helium wallets are extremely safe and no one can hack into your wallet unless you give away those 12 words accidentally. Also, you cannot lose access to your own Helium wallet if the 12 passphrases are saved safely. I hope this information was useful to you. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments section. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and get cryptonized.